Greetings and salutations, comic book conversationalists. It's Comic Book Hangover with a very late edition of my weekly haul, weekly review video. We had a little bit of sort of chaos drama going on this week, so I wasn't able to do my video on and have it going live on Thursday like I normally do. Everything's okay. It's kind of settling down, but you know, to be honest with you, I mean, we are needing to find a new place to live or try to get the house that we're in now. The situation now is our landlord has said that she's going to sell the house that we're living in now, so it puts us in a position where we either need to, you know, try to get a mortgage to buy this house or get a different house. So you know, there's a lot of stuff going on with that, trying to figure out exactly what the heck we're supposed to do and how we're supposed to do it. One of the things that I've decided is that I'm going to be going through my collection. It's over 10,000 comics now, and I'm going to kind of, you know, gut it a little bit and start selling off some of these books, because there's a lot in my collection that I really like, but I don't really need, you know. So I'm not sure how I'm going to do it. If I want to, you know, piecemeal it, or if I just want to, you know, get a couple long boxes, fill them with books, show them, say who, you know, give me money for these, you know, whatever. Not really used to selling my comics, and that's nothing I ever thought about actually doing, so it's kind of a new thing for me. But that's whatever, you know. That's a conversation for another day. Let's talk about the comic books that I picked up last week and this week. So some of these are bagged and boarded already because, you know, why not? We're going to start off with She-Hulk. Now the She-Hulk series, I know the big push for She-Hulk, the big her hook basically is since the sensational She-Hulk series back in the 1990s. She was breaking the fourth wall. She was actually doing it before Deadpool did it, and she actually does it better than Deadpool. I mean, she really, whereas Deadpool really just kind of understands that he's a fictional character, that he exists in this comic book world, She-Hulk goes a step further, where she understands how to use the mechanics of a comic book to benefit her. I mean, there was one example in the sensational She-Hulk series where she was running late for work, and she was shown how to walk between the panels and, you know, between the pages and whatnot to get to where she wanted to go quicker. So I don't think Deadpool's ever done anything like that. But this new series, it hasn't jumped into that. We're what, 3 issues in, and we still got those corner boxes, which I think is amazing. But we're not getting into really that level of meta humor yet, and I like that. She's, you know, we're still laying down the foundation of her new status quo, her new supporting cast. We do have a cameo in here by Patsy Walker and Iron Man. It's taking its time and setting things up, which I think is the best way to do it with a character like She-Hulk, because you want to establish her first, because she really hasn't been in a series like this in her best form in quite some time. So, you know, we got new readers and people who are going to be introduced to her through the upcoming Disney Hulu series, the TV show. So it's best to set up who she is, really kind of, you know, create her world around her before you get into the whole meta humor and fourth wall breaking. I mean, she kind of does it in here, so they're kind of sprinkling it here and there in the series, which is honestly the best way to do it. And I am really, really enjoying this. And it's kind of weird having Jack of Hearts in it. I don't really see him as sort of a She-Hulk type character, but it works. The whole thing works. So it's fun, it's quirky. I mean, there's not a whole lot of action. It's very story-oriented, very character-based. So if you're looking for something a little bit different with your superhero comics, this is definitely one to check out. I was excited. I was cautiously optimistic because I'm not familiar at all with the writer of this series, but I think she's doing a great job. I believe it's a girl. Rainbow, I imagine Rainbow's a girl's name, but she's doing a great job. I'm really enjoying it, and we're not really getting into... She's not getting pulled into the whole, you know, SJW nonsense. It's just a good, fun, straightforward comic book with a great character and building a great supporting cast of characters. I mean, Awesome Andy's in it, and I just loved it when, you know, it was one of those pages where, you know, the last panel on the page, you have to turn it for the reveal, and, you know, somebody says Andy, and I'm like, it can't be Awesome Andy, and you turn the page and it's Awesome Andy. Anybody who's read the Dan Slott series knows Awesome Andy and knows how truly awesome Andy is. So, great series. I do recommend it. Also, real quick, not going to say a whole lot about this one. Monkey Prince, number 3 of 12. Still a lot of fun. I mean, if all I can say is, I mean, really, right now, these 2 books are the most entertaining books that I'm reading, or 2 of the most entertaining books that I'm reading. So, Monkey Prince, we're still, I mean, he's still learning how to use his Monkey Prince powers. It's fun, it's lighthearted, it's quirky, and just, it's great. And the best part about it is, even though we got Batman and Robin, this is Damian Wayne Robin, even though they're in here, and Penguin is one of the main villains in this series, you don't need to know a lot of the continuity. You don't have to know what's going on in all the 78 Batman and Batman-related titles that DC has right now. You don't need to know any of that stuff. You can jump into this, and honestly, you don't even need to read the one-shot that Monkey Prince made his debut in. You don't need any of that stuff. You can just jump into this one cold like I did and enjoy the hell out of it. It's just fun. So basically, if you're looking for a series where there's characters that Batman and Robin, but you don't want to sort of wade into the deep end of continuity, this is a series that you want to check out for sure. I'm going through these kind of quick. I have some other things that I really do need to get done today. Next one, this one's not bagged and boarded yet. Strange, number 2, picking up from the last issue. But what's really interesting about this is, and I think I said this about the first issue, since Clea is not from Earth, she's from the Dark Dimension. There's a whole separate set of rules and morality in the Dark Dimension. And now that she's a Sorcerer Supreme of the 616 and of the Dark Dimension, she's kind of bringing in that mentality. And she doesn't, like, with Steven, he would try to figure things out, and he would be, for the most part, he was a little bit more delicate in the way he handled things. Clea's not like that. She's just like, a bulldozer going through a china shop. She's just going to destroy everything to get to the one thing that she wants. And we find out in here, and again, this is some kind of spoilers, I guess. You find out in here that if you make her mad, she is not somebody you want to be messing with. And she is not somebody that you want to make mad. And it's great. So we're only 2 issues into this. So far, it's not being treated as a miniseries. I know Doctor Strange has a new movie coming out, directed by the great Sam Raimi, which means I may actually go see this one. But it's fun. It's a nice take on the whole Sorcerer Supreme thing, and I'm hoping that we'll be able to explore different parts of the magic side of the Marvel Universe. I mean, I'd like to see more of the Dark Dimension, honestly. It'd be kind of cool to see some of the people from the Dark Dimension that we don't normally see come into the 616 and try to raise all kinds of hell. But Strange, also a really entertaining book. Very well done. I did add that one to my pull list as well. Another Marvel. We've got with corner box. I know I keep harping on those, but I absolutely love these corner boxes. I think they are great. But Silver Surfer Rebirth, number 3. I am noticing something about this now. I know that there's the continuity mistake with Nebula calling Thanos her father. Nebula has never in the comics claimed to be Thanos' daughter. She's always claimed to be his granddaughter. So the whole daughter-father thing, that's a movie thing, and that really doesn't belong in the comics as far as I'm concerned, especially if you're going to be doing a story like this that takes place in the 90s, way before these movies came along. But the one thing that I can say that might, work that whole falsehood is with the reality gem and Tyrant. It's the villain Tyrant, we know, using the reality gem to put the Silver Surfer and Thanos into different realities. Perhaps in that reality that Thanos is in, Nebula is his daughter, but it's the Thanos from the 616, and I think he refers to Nebula as his daughter in here, and it just doesn't make any sense. For Thanos to say that sort of thing. Yeah, he calls her daughter. But the one thing that I've noticed about this is I'm not even sure if this is really Thanos in here. I think it might be people who were reading like the Infinity Gauntlet, Infinity War in particular, and Infinity Crusade. Back in those days, Thanos would have these sort of robot doppelgangers that looked and acted exactly like he did, but they were not real. And the one indicator for this was their word balloons. And I don't know if this is going to show up here. Let me see if we can find one that looks good here. Yeah, this one might work. Okay. If you can see his word balloon there, you see how it's not solid. There's little breaks there, and how it's got this jaggedness here on the pointer or whatever. The jaggedness is usually what Marvel would do on a word balloon if somebody who is a robot is speaking, and the jaggedness is not the spaces around the word balloon is not something that Thanos has always had. The color, with it being blue, and the thickness around it, that's traditional Thanos word balloon. But I'm beginning to think that Thanos that we have in this series is not really him. I think it's a robot doppelganger, but still, it's a lot of fun. And if it is a robot doppelganger, it's because Thanos knows it's Tyrant, and Thanos knows where Tyrant is, and he orchestrated this whole thing because he knew Tyrant would focus on the Silver Surfer and Thanos, and that's the distraction, because Thanos, he's powerful, but he's also very, very smart, and he will orchestrate this whole thing. So I'm going to go in. I'll end right now and say that Thanos is a robot. It's a sort of a mechanical doppelganger of him, and the real Thanos is tracking down Tyrant, and there's going to be a big battle between the two. I think they have fought before in the past. There was a mini-series called Marvel Cosmic, and there was a Marvel Cosmic Unlimited. I think Thanos in the Marvel Cosmic 6-issue miniseries was using Jack of Hearts, actually, and Ganymede. He used God, I'm forgetting characters' names now, but he used other cosmic characters to learn more about Tyrant, because he was going to go after him, and they did kind of have a fight at the end of that. So great miniseries. I'm actually reread that one soon. But the next one, Little Monsters #2, it's still a lot of fun. Now this one here, we find out that these little vampires have never drank human blood before. Not sure exactly what they're surviving on, but they've never drank human blood until this issue here, when one of them finally does it for the first time and realizes and thinks to himself, they've been keeping this from us. So there's a lot going on here. It's a great little series, and I mean the coloring is just awesome. I mean, I love the coloring in this one. It's black and white. The only color you're going to see in this is the red for the blood, and it is so great. Again, there's the one character, and the way they refer to him is just kind of annoying. But aside from that, very well written. It's very moody, very atmospheric. It's not hit the ground running sort of story. I mean, we are sort of doing a slow build. There's a lot of new characters in this, a lot of new concepts in this, so we're having to take some time to learn everything. So it's great the way that they're doing it. Jeff Lemire is doing an amazing job writing this series. I really enjoy it, and that one actually is now on my pull list as well. So next up, actually we're going to do a 3-for here, because these are just fun books. We're going to do, let's see, we got Rogue Sun, #2, Radiant Red, #2, which I did not get the secret variant for that, and Radiant Black, #13. Now, Radiant Red and Radiant Black, there is a bit of a crossover between these two with one particular character, but these are all part of the Radiant universe, the Radiant Black universe. It's fun. It's actually kind of nice to see the creation of a new universe and the expansion of a new universe of characters. It's very sort of, it's like Power Rangers, but without the campiness, okay? Power Rangers, they always have to call on their Zords and that sort of thing. These don't have it, but there's different Radiants, and each one has a different color, and each color seems to have different abilities. So we got Radiant Black and Radiant Red. There's a pink one, and there's a blue one. Excuse me. Rogue Sun is I don't think Rogue Sun is really a Radiant. He gets his powers from a gem, and he's kind of doing his own little thing, but it's going to tie back into the Radiant. So, if you're looking for, I'd say Power Rangers for grown-ups, and Power Rangers without all the history to it, the Radiant Black, Radiant Sun, you want to grab Supermassive. It was a one-shot that came out a little while ago. I think I did a review for it on here. It's a nice package deal, nice, slowly expanding but still contained universe and mythos of characters. So it's been a lot of fun. I'm really glad I picked up Radiant Black. I actually am enjoying that one a lot more than I've really ever enjoyed, like Something Is Killing the Children at this point. So great series, great fun. The last one I want to talk about from last week is Spider-Punk #1. Now, I wanted to show off some stuff in this here, but I had to bag and board it because for some ungodly reason, Marvel put this on the thinnest, cheapest, most, I don't know, it's just like colorful toilet paper. It's so thin and so floppy. You know, it's kind of insulting to the creator and the writer and the artist and the character and the fans that they did this the way that they did. But it's great. It hits the ground running. You know, we're kind of getting little bits of information here about Hobby, who is, you know, Spider-Punk. He existed in his own alternate reality. He, you know, is, you know, a punker or punk or what do you want to call it. He's anti-establishment. He's got one guy that works with him called Captain Anarchy. You can pretty much tell, you know, he's Captain America, but in this universe, he's more for anarchy or whatever. There's an Iron Man archetype there. We get to see a Nazi fascist version of Kraven the Hunter, which is really not that far from his regular character, but it's fun. It's a lot of fun. I like the art. It's very colorful. The reveal of the Taskmaster on the last page was a lot of fun. Now I'm not really much into this kind of music, but I do know the basics of the icons of this genre of music, and even I was like, that is really cool. So if you want to check that out, definitely pick this. I'm sorry, it's like I said, it's just really flimsy book. Now, as far as like the things that I didn't like about it, of course, you gotta have the gay character, and you can't just, you know, he can't just be there, but no, he's got to be like put like really in your face. It's like, this is the gay character, you got to deal with it. It's like kind of, you know, it really didn't have a purpose in the story, didn't have a point. It doesn't add anything. You know, really, it'd be better to have known Captain Anarchy first before we knew that he was gay, because I mean, it's not important. So to do it is just kind of stupid, and it's pandering, and it needs to stop. But that little minor thing aside, he does handle that shield in very interesting ways. I do like that. And the Iron Man character, it'd be not, I'm hoping, and of course we got 5 issues here, so we'll be able to learn more about her, and she'll be able to be expanded very well as well. So, but I mean, there's a few little things in there that, you know, that I think could have done without, but overall, in like 99% of the book, well, we'll say 95% because the paper is really stinking cheap. Great package. I mean, I was worried that the way the story was going to be written would really kind of make me lose interest in character. You know, sort of like with Punchline, when they started doing more with Punchline, they gave her an origin, and her origin was stupid as hell, and her character just became dumb as hell, and I just lost all interest in her. Not so with Spider-Punk. He's still great, and this is a series that is long overdue. And I know I'm kind of on the fence. I would like to see more. I would love to see Spider-Punk issue 25, you know, but honestly, I'm not sure what kind of staying power, like, not really staying power, but I'm not sure if Spider-Punk could support an ongoing series. Maybe a series of mini-series and one-shots would be a good idea. They can do continuing number, the little legacy numbering thing that Marvel does, but great fun. That's it. That's just great fun. So those are the books that I picked up last week. So I didn't pick up a whole lot this week, so let's just jump right into it. But actually, before I do that, as always, everybody, thanks for subscribing. Thanks for watching, following, and all that sort of stuff. I have picked up some more subscribers. I appreciate it. Thank you. And put a little, you know, side note on here. Anything that I say about like SJW and all that sort of stuff about, you know, these comic books, it's just my own personal opinion. I mean, I've been reading comic books since 1990, so it's been over 30 years, and I have really my set sort of standard as to why I read comic books and why, you know, what I expect from them and why I read them. I like them to be escapist entertainment, and the reason why I don't like all the SJW stuff is because that's pulling in the writer's personal politics into these comic books, and I'm like, I'm not here to learn about you. If I want to learn about you, then I'll go to a convention and I'll have a conversation with you. And I'm imagining we can have some and I've had amazing conversations with some great creators, even ones that I disagree with politically. That's just like, politics should be aside. You know, comic books are far more important and more realistic than politics. So when I say stuff like that, it's just my own personal opinion. If you disagree with it, I respect that. I respect that to the ends of the earth. If that's the kind of comic books you want, that's great. As long as you're reading comic books and if we can have a great conversation about them, that's all I really care about. So that said, again, thanks for liking and commenting and subscribing to my channel. Let's talk about the books that I picked up this week, starting with one that I won as a raffle. I'm not even sure if I'm going to read. I don't know really anything about this one. I think I just kind of like the cover. Marauders #1. So, although I kind of like, Marvel's doing these corner boxes again. Now they're sort of like a trade dress for the X-Men. I don't like the X-Men logos, but I do like that. This one was sort of a spur of the moment, because I guess I needed another Ghost Rider #1 from this current series. But this is the second print. It's a Ryan Stegman cover, and it's just sweet. So, it's one of those things. I didn't need it. I just really wanted it. I wasn't going to get it because I knew it was coming out, but then when I saw it on my LCS and actually saw it in person, I was like, yeah, I got to have it. So sometimes you just can't resist them, Noctera #9, which I know the last couple of issues I've enjoyed them, but it's kind of starting to lose steam. So I don't know. We're going to read this one and find out. Now this one is another one for fans of Radiant Black. You need to grab this one as well. This is the Image. This is their 30th anniversary anthology. Is what it's called. 30th anniversary anthology. I think this is one of the regular covers. I don't think this is a variant cover, but it's a 12-issue maxi series, and it's an anthology. So each issue is going to have multiple stories by different creators. One of the first, I think it's a 4-parter, is going to be Radiant Black, and I think we're going to be introduced to some new characters. Aside from that, it's a really cool cover. I like the fact that he's reading the first issue of Youngblood, which I don't. Was it a flip book? I don't remember if it was a flip book. I'm not even sure if I have that issue. And the last one I picked up this week is Mighty Morphin #18. Now they finally they took off the little lightning bolt on the sides. So we're getting full covers for this series, which is great because the art on these covers for both Mighty Morphin and for Power Rangers have been amazing. So it's great that we'll actually be able to see the full covers. Now you'll see here also it says charge to 100, and that's because one of the variant covers that they do for both Mighty Morphin and Power Rangers is a legacy variant, and that one has the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers logo on them, as well as continuing the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers numbering. I was going to do those because, I don't like starting over, but with the fact that, they're actually two different books with different titles, it would have kind of messed up how I was going to catalog them and put them in my collection. So I was like, I'll just do it this way. But this means that we're getting close to the 100th consecutive issue, I guess, of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers comic book. So it's great, but it's some great covers. This series is known for some really awesome covers. And it's kind of weird seeing the power chamber, their headquarters, all destroyed like that. But what are you gonna do? Hopefully they can rebuild. But that's it. That's all I got this week, and those are all the books that I picked up last week. As you can see, the wall behind me has pretty much completely changed. I think Silver Coin and I don't know. I'm keeping the Godzilla and Ghost and the Power Rangers one up there, and of course, I'm going to try to have a Ghost Rider book up there every week, at least one Ghost Rider book, because, it's Ghost Rider. I love myself some Ghost Rider. And, a few minor complaints about this current series, but, minor complaints and just all kinds of stuff that I'm liking about it. So, we're going to stick with it because it's Ghost Rider. But that's it. That's what I got, everybody. Thanks for watching. Again, I'm really sorry for this being a couple of days late. Normally I don't do that, but like I said, we had some issues, everybody's healthy, everybody's safe again, so we're doing good. Just have a few other things I got to take care of. So